Now, do you guys have lot lizards?
Oh, man.
Pit lizards.
Pit lizard.
You know what I'm talking about.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got
Keaton can tell you all about those.
Can you? You dirty dog.
one or two, yeah.
I think they're at every racetrack.
Oh, they are.
Are they? The bad thing is at Tri-State, more than half of them are like old chicks.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, well, everybody, we've been gone for a while. Got some new guests here this week here at Power Motorsports, and I've got Caleb Pence, Smooth Pence, and his buddy. Go ahead and introduce yourself, buddy.
I'm Keaton Oaks.
There you go, partner in crime. Now, does he do the pit crewing?
I'm the pit boy. Yep.
The pit boy.
Yeah.
You got anybody else?
Not so much.
I mean, it's just me and Roger.
That's it.
Most every weekend, yeah.
Well, you said the dad's kind of hit and miss.
Well, I mean, he slaves at the track, that's for sure.
yeah.
Well, yeah, and I mean, well, at least you got him, which he's
Right.
got Wild Horse Towing.
Right.
So give a shout out to Wild Horse Towing, and give a shout out to our sponsors, MMA Max, old Brian Foster over there, Pete's Machine Shop. Got to give a shout out to them. You never know, you may need them too.
You never know.
Yeah, they're engine guys. So, and Caleb here, he races the micro sprints. So, been doing pretty good. How long you been doing that?
I think we're going on our fourth year
Fourth year?
of like full season.
Well, I mean, everybody out there, you know, a lot of these people, they don't know much about micro sprints. I know, like myself, I don't. I've went and watched the Chili Bowl or something like that.
Yeah.
And it's exciting, but I told you, my wife doesn't allow anything like that because of it's pretty dangerous. Man.
I mean, it can be. It can be.
I mean, I think I read some kind of statistic where it said something like, what is it? By the time you're 35, you race since you're a teenager to 35, most of them are crippled or something. I mean, it was bad. I was like, holy smokes. And then I watched a few races, and I mean, when they do flips,
It's rough.
y'all's for real about it.
Yeah, that's for sure.
I mean, it's like endo on steroids.
Yeah. You start flipping down the backstretch, you're going to end up in turn 4 probably.
Yeah, it's some good stuff. So, well, how much do you think one of those cars cost? I think I asked you the other day,
Yeah.
but I didn't get a complete answer.
I mean, everybody's got their prices on them,
Yeah.
but to be competitive and be up front and know you're going to have a chance to win in that car and it's all kind of on you and your team, I'd say probably 45.
4,500, 45,000.
45,000.
Yeah.
Holy shit!
Yeah. Most people, it's
45,000 for a little. Oh my goodness! But that's to be in the top 10.
We'll say 45,000. If you're a good driver, you can get in the top 5.
Yeah,
But
That's some serious money. Why didn't you just go to full car? Why would? Okay, here's what I was gathering. Your dad could stick you in something a lot safer. Is insurance coverage on you?
yeah, there is some insurance on those.
I was like, what's his intentions here? No, I'm not saying that bad, Roger.
I do
Good
need-
Lord, he's gonna be like, I'm gonna kill David.
I do need to get some good life insurance, though. That's for sure.
Yeah, I just don't. My goodness, you can build. I would say you can build a competitive car if you know people. Probably 20. If you build the engine yourself, you put all the mechanical together, you know the right people, you can get some used parts. Because you still got to run the good stuff. You got to, I mean, you got to. You got to run the good stuff. So it doesn't matter if you get them used or not, as long as they're still good. You know, I don't know if that's the same way with you guys.
I mean, some degree. On a lot of those cars, though, it's more... You don't make as much of it. You'll spend more trying to make the parts than if you just go out and buy it because they kind of mass produce them.
What do you mean make them? Like, do you guys fabricate a lot of your stuff? Or?
Like, not so much. I mean, like a body panel, like the price of those versus if you went and bought metal to fabricate.
Oh, you're saying just go out and buy it. It's cheaper.
Yeah, in general.
So, and you guys, I've seen 2 cars over at your place, which you're here in Salisal.
Right.
Everybody that doesn't know, he's in Salisal. Are you on a nationwide series right now? What are you racing? Like, are you local?
Well, we've done a lot. Like we've done our points. We won our points championships before. We ran second in points championships, but last year we went more towards running like a lot of the national races, and then on top of that, we didn't like really stick to a track for points.
Yeah,
we just searched for the money pretty much. We went where the money was.
So you went to, I bet Dad was involved with that. Probably the money races, because that sounds like an old timer.
Right.
Because like my cousin and people that I know that's been in this game for a while, they're like, well, I've got enough practice. I want to, they'll build like a super high end piece.
Yeah.
Like a real high end race car, and spend the best money can buy, and they only enter the races that pay. And now with myself, I still need more seat time. I just haven't dirt raced long enough. I bet we've probably raced the same. I mean, in all honesty, when it comes to circle track racing. Well, you karted though a little bit, but is karting even the same? I've karted a little. I did some asphalt karting, and very exciting. I mean, it threw my equilibrium off and stuff like that. But I drove it real similar to a dirt car.
Yeah, I'd compare it to a dirt car. Just no suspension really.
Yeah,
very very stiff.
Very stiff. I was racing on flat track. Were you racing on flat when you karted, or just everywhere?
Just everywhere. They were flat. They were banked.
But this micro, now this is more race car.
Right. Yeah, it's a whole different ball game than
another animal.
Right.
Yeah, that's like mine. It's what I'm getting at is, I don't know. It's kind of like my dad when he said, nothing against the guys that front wheel drive. I have to watch it. People get mad when I try to. I'm not dissing nobody, but the deal is whenever people do like the front wheel drive class. Now mini stocks are rear wheel drive, and they've got some of those boys got them things turned up big time. Have you seen those? Do you know what mini stock is?
Yeah, I'd agree. Some of them are pretty souped up. They're hot rods.
They're pretty wicked. I mean, they're twisting 9, 10, 12,000 RPM like your motor.
Oh, yeah.
What do you turn your motor?
Our motor, we try to keep it probably like 16.4, 16.7.
Yeah, somewhere in there.
We like to crank her up a little bit.
Woo!
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, it's humming.
Yeah, I was going to say that's kind of like the new crotch rockets.
Yeah. We're rod checking it in hot laps.
Holy smokes. Yeah, because my buddy, he's got a ZR1 crotch rocket, like a Ninja, or I don't remember what brand that is. But it's he said he's cruised it at 15, 16,000. He said, man, that thing will go all the way to 1920. And I was like, holy smokes. You got to be kidding me. So you guys are real similar.
Yeah,
Right.
pretty similar.
Is it fuel injected?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you can go both ways. Carburetor or fuel injected. Carburetors are a lot cheaper and more affordable to work on, easier to get parts for, all that good stuff. But
tuning's harder?
Carbs when...
Because it would be multi-carb, wouldn't it? Since
it's
because some motorcycles, they have like 4 carburetors.
Yeah, it's 4 carburetor setup, but you really don't do much tuning. Mm-hmm. If you get a good set of carburetors, you really won't touch them all season because, I mean...
Is that right?
They stay dialed in pretty much. They stay the same.
I mean, I would say that our dirt cars are real similar, but I will tune mine.
Yeah, you'll do more tuning for sure on like a Holly or something like that you'd have on a dirt car.
Yeah.
Well, your fuel injection probably does it for you, right?
Well, no. See, on our
I mean, don't you have O2 sensors and all that stuff?
Yeah, we have a bunch of sensors and stuff, but our fuel, it's a whole another ball game because when you tune it, you have like 4 different things. We'll call them pills, and you'll tune it on like the low end, which say is like from 10,000 to 14,000 or 12,000 RPM, which is like coming off a corner. Mm-hmm. And then you'll have a tuner on the high end.
So do you leave it like in high gear like we do? Leave it 1 gear. Drive it.
Yeah, we gear it for like anything from 2nd to 3rd gear.
Yeah.
So
But,
you're going back and forth?
sometimes on the outlaw cars.
Well, I mean, the only time we do that is if we got a caution.
Yeah.
Other than that, we're in high.
Right. See, on my stock stuff, I'll usually leave it in like second or third. We'll gear it for the track pretty much. But on the Outlaws, we usually gear it for second. And then on the transmissions, there's an overdrive, which is like taking off a tooth to gain more RPM. So I can actually shift it on two different sides of the racetrack.
I got you.
So I'll shift it down the straightaway for one corner and downshift for the other one. Or I'll shift it in the middle of the corner, shift it down. That way I have more coming off.
I got you.
So you are shifting a little bit on that.
I know your dad brags on you a lot, big time to me, and
Oh, yeah.
everybody I know. I mean, he's pumped up, and it's probably similar to my dad. He and my stepdad. I know my stepdad. He, I don't know if it's because I got to race before them or what, but my mom, she would say you're doing way better than they did, whenever they were in it. And it may be better technology and just did it a little earlier and stuff. And I know Roger, if he was able to get you in it younger than he was, obviously.
Right, yeah. I started about 10, so I felt like that was a little bit of a late start.
Do you?
Honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like it was because by the time I figured out.
And what do you say? Let me backtrack here. I know we're talking about the car, and people are probably fascinated with this micro sprint stuff because most people I know don't know much about it. But guys your age, do you know anybody else getting into it themselves that does not have hardly any backing?
I do.
Do you?
Yeah.
Like they're poor boying it,
There's a couple guys.
piecing it together.
There's quite a few.
Is there? Cool.
Or not, yeah.
I mean, I met one guy this year and knew nothing about it. Came out there with some friends sitting in the stands, and he was like, man, I want to find a car. He found a car. It wasn't the best.
How old was he?
Probably 20,
Okay.
21, 22.
Just seen you race, kind of got the fever.
Right.
He's
And
got-
he came up and asked me a question one day, and I talked to him for a minute. I didn't think he didn't race it this time. And like the next week, I saw him pulling with a car, open trailer, not a toolbox one on him.
No air compressor, no
Nothing.
tire gauge, nothing.
I mean, he pulled in with a wood trailer, and we're like, okay, maybe he's gonna pull up to a team trailer or something. He went over there by himself. I talked to him a little bit. He like cut his fingers open, asked if we had like an aid in our trailer. So I, stitched him up, and he's like, so what's your air pressure? 6-7 pounds. Oh, I got 45 in mine. Knew nothing. So we helped him out a little bit that day, and any question he had, he usually, ran over there, and we were glad to help him on that. But it's just nice seeing new people come into the sport because, they know nothing about it, and it's nice seeing them take a liking for it and it not being their family, and, it's generations to come when he has a kid.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I know in my racing, we don't see it a whole lot anymore. We keep seeing less and less people getting into it,
Yeah.
and we're kind of worried about it, I know worried about, I don't know how many tracks out there are worried about it, but I bet there's quite a few people that are sweating bullets on it. So, and the kids that are coming out, they're running on dad's money or something.
Right.
They come from a little bit of money, and they're able to afford the good stuff. The only thing is they want to run us over,
Yeah.
because
they
they
don't
got
care.
they got an unlimited checkbook, and that's rough too. But I know we had a couple out there at the track, but they learned real quick. I mean, their dad got on them, jumped them, because what happened was we just started taking turns on him. One of us would hit him, the next guy would hit him, the next guy, and we told him and his dad. They said if he keeps roughhousing our car, we're just going to total him every weekend. And I don't care how much money you got, we'll see how you like spending all this money, to do this. And the guy kind of lipped off a little bit and was like, whatever, I got more money, and we just kept doing it. Week after week after week, and this went on 5-6 weeks. Finally, he come over and he said, what do we got to do for this to end? Please, you guys back off. And I said, you need to talk to your boy and tell him that, he needs to learn respect. Hold your line. Don't
Right.
just bounce off everybody. And I could see in your type of racing where that could get dangerous.
Yeah, it really could, and I'd love to do that sometimes. We call them squirrels, because they're all over the place.
Do you run with a pack of guys? Do you got like 2 or 3 guys that you always park by, or no?
I mean, everybody's, I guess to some degree, everybody's got their little stations. I'll call it.
Because there's about 5, 6 of us.
Right. But then again, to a point, there's a point where like everybody's so busy,
Oh, okay. Yeah, like us, if we're getting roughed up, one of us, and then we come out the next weekend and that same guy hit a buddy of ours, we just all get together.
Right.
We're like, okay, which one of us going to take him out this weekend?
Right.
I wish we could do that.
And that sounds horrible, but some guys, they do it intentionally. They just tear your shit up. And I think it's one of 3 things. I think you got the money and you don't care. You're ignorant. Yeah. It's number 2, just an idiot. Just thinks he can drive and it's Ricky Bobby out there. You know what I mean? Man, I go fast every weekend, that kind of shit. And some guys are just driving over their head.
Yeah, there's a lot of Jim Bobs out there, that's for sure.
Some guys, they really think they know what they're doing. I've got new equipment, and they're just driving plumb over their head. I think it's one of the 3.
Then you'll have to a point where it's an underfunded team, and they see a nice car rolling around them, and halfway get upset about it. And
do you know they do that to me? When I bring my cars out there, they have come over and said, "Oh, it needed that scratch. You like that?" And man, I just want to
choke them. Yeah.
Yeah, they're like, in the first race out, I had one. I'm not going to say who it is, which he knows who it is. This guy told me. He said, when we go out together, he said, "I'm just gonna, we need to get that new off that car, right, Dave?" And I said, "What do you mean?" He said, "I'm gonna spin you out in turn 4." I said, "You ain't gonna do shit." Thank God he couldn't catch me. You know what I mean? Because he was hunting for me. He was, I guess, pissed because I had a nice car. I don't know. So you run kind of in that they want to rough you up a little,
There's nothing worse than either starting
jealousy or something.
Yeah.
Starting 10th in a heat race or not making it out of the heat race, something breaking, you're in the back of a B main and trying to go through that.
Is that right?
That's a mess.
Oh, yeah.
So do you run with mostly young? Now, these are micro sprints. Now, if the guy was older, he'd either have to be on dope or real little.
Right.
Because they're small cars. I mean, and it's kind of I see it as a young man's game because you guys are naturally thin and most older guys are wide as a,
you'd be surprised.
Icebox.
You'd be surprised what gets in them.
Is that right?
He takes
big old boys?
Yeah, he takes care of one of the guys that we take
got
care
a guy,
of.
he's about
Is he my size?
5'6",
Yeah.
250 pounds.
And he's driving a micro?
At least.
We stuff him down in it every weekend.
He's at least 250.
Larry's going to watch us and be
Yeah, don't say his name too loud.
I mean,
Hi, Larry. No, I'm just kidding.
You'd be surprised who can fit in those cars.
Is that right? I didn't. When I see it, I think, whoa, my one of my older sons could get in there. I was thinking, Joe, me or you? I guess if you built it right, you could get in there.
What size seat's that? 17 or 18 inch?
something like that.
I run a 17, so that thing's got that much room in there.
Well, his legs are kind of small, so I wouldn't take it on that.
Okay.
Yeah, like different.
I was gonna say maybe I can fit more. No, I don't. I just, when you told me the other day, you were like, well, you should have seen the last car. This thing's got plenty of roll cage.
Yeah.
The only thing that's going to hit you is the front wheels. You know what I'm thinking? I don't want shit to hit me. Yeah. Because your face is just right there. And in a car, you guys run nets, right?
No
nets.
no. That's frowned upon.
Yeah.
You guys are
If you-
crazy.
If you run a net, you're like, I gotta run a net.
Yeah.
If you pull out running the net, we automatically know you're a squirrel or Jim Bob out there to wreck us.
Well, I'll be honest with you. I don't run a net neither because it messes with me, But I take that back. There's been times I've ran a net, but I can't find this old net that I used to run. I used to run one that had it almost looked like fishing string, but it was super strong nylon. Mm-hmm. and you could see straight through it. So, and the only reason why I ran one was because during one of my races, I got kicked out in turn 3, slid sideways to a stop, and I was in the lead. And I come to a dead stop, and everybody split and was going around me. And this one guy, I don't know what the hell happened, but he had this tunnel vision. And this sumbitch was aiming right for me, and I swear I could see his teeth gritting and everything. And he hit me wide open, 90 mile an hour, right in my door.
Really?
Hit me so hard, the car wadded up around me. It blew all 4 tires out.
Wow.
Exploded.
That's the guys that drive
Tried
off
to
the
kill me.
front of their car for sure.
Yeah, they see right there.
Right. They'll be back in 20.
Remember me and you were talking?
Yeah.
I look out too. I'm actually, when I'm on the back stretch, I'm actually looking down towards turn 4 around in there, and I kind of glance up, and I'm looking at the other side of the track.
Yeah, you have to drive at least a straightaway ahead, for sure.
I think they get this tunnel vision like right in front of the car, and my dad told me that 70 or 80% of the public even drives their cars like that. That's how people, they just see right there in front of them, 30, 40 foot. So,
wow.
and there's half of the guys drive with 1 foot still.
Yeah, I've heard that.
They're working it, and I'm like, you got me too. I mean, when I first started racing, it just naturally felt good,
Right.
you know, to use both legs and hands, and I don't know.
I feel like that's part of like racing when you're younger too. You learn that ability. Mm-hmm. And when you race when you're younger, when you get your driver's license, I still drive with 2 feet.
Do you?
Everywhere.
Do you?
Yeah. And then I feel like if guys wait and they get in the sport late, they're used to driving with 1 foot.
Yeah.
That's all they've known.
Yeah.
So.
Well, and when I was a kid, my dad would tell me, drive with only 1 foot. See, that's kind of a thing they would make you, and I think they thought it was dangerous or something. I don't know. Have no idea. So, well, do you have? So, anyways, back to the circuit. Are you on a circuit, or are you? You know, they got these Lucas events and all this other stuff, nationwide series, and are you on anything like that? Are you going to enter one, or
We run, like we enter Lucas Oil, like National Now 600, like every year, just to be, it's good to be a part of it. And then we'll run some like USAC stuff.
like when you enter something like that? See, I thought about entering something like, how much is involved in traveling and something like that? Like, do you have to show up at every event, and how far are they?
You don't have to show up at every
Because I just go to my local track,
Right.
and it's open every weekend. Super convenient. I'm sure you guys wish you. I mean, I wish you had a full body car. You could come down there every Saturday night
It'd be nice.
and just. Well, your dad's got them too.
Oh, yeah, I know.
You may want to try it. You know, I'm not saying anything, but and I tell you what, it'll feel totally different probably than that micro.
Oh yeah.
Holy smoke! But anyways, back to your deal. Do you have to? Is there a lot of travel involved? I'm kind of curious to how much it costs. You know, because I thought about going on something like that.
So, like, we'll say USAC. You know, they're liable to race in Florida one weekend, and 3 days later, they'll be racing in California. And it's the same series. You just travel. I mean, you're on the road. But, like, a lot of our stuff, like Lucas Oil Now 600, there are, like, regions. So, like, Oklahoma, Texas, Missouri, Arkansas. You're kind of in, like, a 4 to 5 state region that you'll travel in. But then again, like if you go on a national side of it, then you're going to be racing on probably at least 30, 40 states.
So which one are you going to enter this new year coming up? Have you thought about it, or?
We always try to run like the Lucas Oil Now 600 stuff, which we don't run for points, but it's still good to be a part of those shows because the car count's up there and the pay's up there on a lot of their events. So we'll enter both of those and run both of those.
Do you have any sponsors?
Yeah. We
May want to give them a shout out.
Yeah, we need to give him a shout out for sure.
Yeah.
I'm sure old Dad, right?
Yeah, he kicks in, and then we have Bob Mosley. He lives in Tulsa. He's our motor guy.
That sounds familiar.
Momo Race Engines. He builds some nice pieces, probably the best around.
Gotcha. He's out of Tulsa?
Yeah, he's up there. He's up
Where
there.
at? Like down by Memorial, or?
Well, we'll just say East 11th Street.
11th Street.
Get on
Yeah.
11th Street. You'll know where you're
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I lived up by Pine. So a long time ago. Yeah, I moved because my windshield got shot out.
Yeah, you don't play around on 11th Street.
No,
Yeah.
I got off on a side road the other day when I was trying to go deliver a motor, and it was rough.
Yeah, you get jumped,
But,
stop at a gas station.
You know, I think I've been to his shop because I actually did a little bit of sand dragging with a 4-wheeler I had, a 700 Raptor, and we were trying to put another bike on alcohol, and I did a crotch rocket brake conversion. We did the disc brakes off of a Ninja onto a 4-wheeler, and I took it to a shop up on 11th Street, and the guy custom made it for me. I wonder if that was him.
It could have been.
Yeah.
His old shop burned down, and I think it was like 4 or 5 years ago.
No, this is back in 2003 or something like that. But
Yeah,
he had
probably.
bikes everywhere.
Yeah, it probably was.
And they said, this guy can make that happen, Dave. Because I was like, man, I can't get this thing to shut down. I'm running 100 and something mile an hour on a 4-wheeler. And I flipped it around backwards and I locked the brakes up and it just wouldn't shut down. And fast enough. And they said, man, you need better brakes. And I just couldn't find any better. So they sent me to that guy.
Yeah, he's very knowledgeable on a lot of things, really.
Well, this guy, he just handmade it all. So, I mean, now I could probably do it, but back then, no way.
Right.
You know, I was only like 23 years old. That's cool.
Yeah.
It's cool. I bet it is the same guy, except for on 11th. That's funny.
I wouldn't be
Maybe.
surprised if it was. He's done a lot of things.
You got anybody else on the roster?
Tommy Thompson. He helps out with our powder coating. He has BA powder coating, and he has cat spot litter.
Now, BA powder in Broken Arrow?
Yes.
Write that down. I need a good powder coater.
Very
Is he
good.
good?
Yeah, he does the best work for sure.
Yeah, he's
And what's it called?
BA powder coating.
BA powder coating. And what's his name?
Tommy Thompson. I'm sure
Tommy.
you've probably heard of him. He sponsors like a lot of the NHRA dragsters and
And
he's
Palmer Power, too. Cling! I'm just teasing. I know, everybody's always trying to get something.
Yeah.
Trust me, Brian, with MMA Max, yeah, he works it. He tries to get everything he can, don't he? I got to go down there. He's got a new fight coming up. I got to talk to him about old Joe here and a few other things. So I got some stuff coming up. Joe's been doing some of his stuff. Now that we got this thing going on, he's seen it and was like, man, I'm so impressed with it. The show looks good, da-da-da. So he took over all that UFC stuff for them. So that's pretty cool.
That's good.
Yeah. Yeah. McDonald's, stuff like that. So, now, do you guys have lot lizards?
Oh, man.
Pit lizards.
Pit lizard.
You know what I'm talking about.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got
Keaton can tell you all about those.
Can you? You
I-
dirty dog.
one or two. Yeah.
I think they're at every racetrack.
Oh, they are.
Are they? The bad thing is at Tri-State, more than half of them are like old chicks.
Oh, yeah.
You're like,
Hey, there's
you're a
something.
little too old to be out of here.
Sprint car's a little more
The
classy.
moms, yeah.
Okay, so sprint car, they got a little bit younger.
Yeah. A little younger.
Yeah,
Still is crazy.
it still is.
they're
It's not
all-
like banjos playing and stuff, right?
No, it ain't like that.
I
But
don't know. Cracking spoons and all that. Well, I mean, you think, you know how these little smaller tracks out in the middle of nowhere, whew, I've been out there and they've been trying to whoop each other with flashlights and they got deer chili. I think it's illegal, man. You ain't supposed to have deer meat sold to the public. I ain't gonna say which track it is, but they got it every time.
really.
Nobody says shit.
When I was growing up, I saw a lot of
And I'm like, this is deer.
Yeah.
Like these some bitches won't even buy it. Yeah.
Crawford County. That's the place to go if you want to see some things.
Watch you saying that. Yeah.
It is true, though.
I'll never forget the first fight I ever saw was a lady in a front wheel drive with a come along, driving up beside a dude.
With a come along.
She had a come along in her car.
She working it like nunchucks or something.
She was
Yeah.
slinging it.
She knew how to swing them.
A come along. That's good stuff. That's good
funny.
stuff. We had a guy that parked by us just because he was scared to death that the Crawford boys were gonna kill him.
They're
what I
not
mean?
people to mess with.
Yeah, he was like, he come over to Tri-State and he goes, man, those guys come over here from time to time. you mind if I park by you? I said, so me and my cousins can protect you? You know, that's what I was thinking. I was like, man, and I kind of was like, well, yeah, I guess, man. I guess. Shit. You know, I kind of felt bad for him, you know. Normally I'd say, man, that's kind of chicken shit. But, you know, I was like, and he really didn't have nobody. So I kind of felt bad because they were all ganging up, you know, bunch of hillbillies.
The tracks, you know, they don't have like security or on duty police.
Oh man, you know how that goes. I mean, fights have broken out at Tri-State. By the time you get down there, there's already 25 guys that got hit.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, they finally get down there, but it's bad because the officials, you're like, are you going to help them? And they're like, hell no, old Billy Bob Joe, I be mean. You know, they ain't going to mess with him. I swear to God, one of the guys I know come by, he had 5 guys on him. He was so big. This redneck. God. Yeah, he's, thank God, my friend. You know, and there was a bunch of 20, 25-year-old guys, you know, just clamped onto him all over and just hitting him, and he's carrying all 5, 6 of them across the deal.
I wish we saw that more. That's funny stuff. Yeah. But really, all of our guys realistically just like to talk.
Yeah, they're mouthy.
Are they?
Very, yeah.
Very mouthy.
And there's not like.
How's your dad deal with that? Now he's for old dirt racer.
Yeah, that's
he wants to grab a club or.
Yeah, that's the problem sometimes. You know, like Larry. We told you about Larry earlier. I mean, he's rough out there. I wouldn't call him a squirrel, but I mean, he tries his best.
Yeah.
But I mean, there's been a few times there's been people run over there, and he's already got the jack stand thing in his hand,
jack handle
in his hand, and
our crew shovels, and because normally we drive a work truck, so they're grabbing like EMT benders. One of them's got a piece of 500 MCM wire, you know, a wire like that big around, cut off about 5 foot, working it back and forth. And you're like, what are you doing? They ain't gonna touch you. And you're like, holy hell! I had one of them. I grabbed a hold of, boy. I was having to beat them off of me because they were saying, let me get some of that. I want some of that. And I was like, no, I'm gonna teach this guy a lesson. You let me, come on, man. You know, you just thank God it ain't me. All pushing on his face and shit. Well, I'm choking him. You know, they're doing all this crazy stuff. And you're like, you gotta be kidding me. Yeah. But this was years ago. But yeah, that's Tri-State.
Yeah, we don't get that as much, really. I mean,
but you're racing up. Where do you mainly race it? You said up by Sepulpa?
Right, well, we usually race up at Tulsa.
Port
City.
Yeah.
Port City.
There's a lot of good racers that came out of there. You probably Christopher Bell. Have you ever heard him in the Xfinity series? No. He's getting there for sure. I think who's he with? Joe Gibbs?
Yeah, I think he's with Joe Gibbs right now.
He's with Gibbs right now.
Yeah.
And he came from Port City. He came at Bob Mosley or Momo.
So they're taking guys from micro straight into NASCAR? Or?
We'll say micros, and you're good. You'll get noticed and picked up on like a sprint team. Like midgets, you'll run that more nationally as well. But I've seen some guys getting taken from they'll win the shootout or something like that, which is coming up in January. And, they'll get put in like a ARCA car. Mm-hmm. Not necessarily a truck, but they'll try them out in the ARCA series. And if they do good, then so on, that carries up.
That's pretty good. Well, what about your buddies? Y'all got any more buddies, or you just don't find guys your age messing with this stuff? Really?
I mean, we got a couple.
I think we talked about it a little bit. I just don't see it a whole lot in ours, the full body cars.
Yeah.
So do you think racing's going to keep rolling generation to generation, or you think it's phasing out? Or
I think the sprint stuff is. It gets bigger every year.
Does it?
Since I've been in it, it's gotten probably 3 times as big.
I just can't believe it's 45,000. It's like, holy smoke. Because I could see people getting in it if it was cheaper.
Which it can be, and some of them, there are classes that are cheaper out there too.
Is there?
Yeah, sportsmen. They're run on gas, don't have a front nose wing, and they're just like the average blue collar guy, pretty much. That's the car they'll run.
I got you.
Kind of outdated a little bit. Not something that you would.
Not like a Briggs and Stratton motor or something.
No,
they
no.
still
Like
run
like junior dragsters, like
Yeah.
for younger kids in drag racing.
But instead of like getting a motor built,
But you can get that whole car for $2,500.
Yeah, but instead,
Slick.
yeah,
they'll go to a salvage yard instead of having someone build a motor. They'll get carburetors instead of fuel injection. It's all costly. They don't have to.
But do you see guys your age doing this? Like a lot of guys are not really. See, I have trouble getting a pit crew together.
yeah.
Everybody wants a badass car.
Right.
Everybody wants a cool car. Nobody wants to fix it. Nobody wants to build it.
Right.
You know what I mean?
A lot of the pit crew guys, though, like in sprint stuff, they're all paid.
Are they?
Yeah, so that's their
Okay.
job, 9 to 5 every
That's a
day.
9 to 5.
Then some of them, their job's driving the truck.
So how much you making?
We can't discuss that on here.
Yeah, that's private.
He's like, all the women can get in beer. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just teasing. I'm just teasing. Well, I mean, it's good. I used to have a guy that just rolled with me every race. I got him in the pits. I paid his pit passes. I give him like $20 to get him a cheeseburger, something like that. And he'd change my tires. And man, after 3 or 4 years, he knew how to do every single thing on that car. And I miss the shit out of him.
But that's pretty much how I started.
Damn.
Whenever
I mean, I didn't even let him drive my car. And then, believe it or not, after 3 years, we built him a little drag truck out of just spare parts around here, dirt motor or whatever. We just pieced it. You remember old John Paul? And we pieced everything together. And about every 4th or 5th week, we would load it up on my trailer. I'd pay all the entry fees, and I would enter him and let him race his little truck. And I was his pit crew.
really,
I'd tune on his motor and I'd do all that. And I paid for the whole truck and everything. Just kind of like a thank you after 3 or 4 years. It didn't really cost me a whole lot. I may have had $1,500 and everything.
yeah,
I mean, besides the parts, obviously the parts, but I mean, altogether probably $15,000, $20,000 worth of crap because we didn't build. I didn't want to put my name on the truck and it run like shit.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it'd be like putting your name. You don't want to put Pence on the side of his truck.
yeah.
And it'd be slower than, you know what I mean? So
Right.
we let him use, some good stuff. I can see your dad probably doing something like
Yeah,
that.
I think
Yeah.
we'll see him a little bit at like Tri-State or Crawford. We got a little front wheel drive we rigged up for an enduro.
Yeah.
Got a cage in
We
it.
play
so
around with it.
We're going to see you out
We'll
there?
give him his time to
He
shine.
might.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Front wheel drive guys, but watch out.
Yeah. So you going to do front wheel drive, you think?
I mean, maybe.
I think Crawford has it, but freaking Tri-State did away with that class unless they're bringing it back.
No, I think they're done.
I saw him throwing them in with the mini stocks for a while.
Yeah.
And then I think that faded out. But we'll probably take him out to Crawford some weekend. We're not racing and pit crew for him.
Yeah.
Roles reversed, you
Be
know.
fun. Oh,
Well, you know what was nice? I wasn't under the stress of having to perform. Because normally when I go out, I'm thinking, man, I need to be in the top 5. And I'm like so stressed out on myself. Like I don't know how to say that, but I put a lot of pressure on myself. So, and whenever I do that, they get picked up old beer raider there. But anyways, you about got her, Joe. Trying to figure it out. But but the deal was it was so relaxing to just to go help him pit crew. God, that was nice.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm telling you. And he said, no, let me help you. And I said, no, you let me. I want to drink a beer, watch you race. I'll eat my nachos and let me bullshit with friends and family.
yeah.
And you do your thing. I said, you just race it. And believe it or not, man, by the end of that summer, that son of a bitch got good.
Really?
Yeah, he started getting good. And then he started kicking their ass. And I thought, well, he got a little something on him. So my old maintenance, crew chief was starting to kick their ass. So I kind of felt good about it. But he's kind of got out there now. So he left for a year or two. And then when he come back, he just ain't been the same about racing.
Really?
He ain't come to one race or nothing. So, and he knows more than anybody I know, besides myself, or somebody that does it. But yeah, and now he works for me. He works for me and still doesn't come to a race now. And I think it's because we got rid of his truck. And whenever we got rid of his truck, and he got a new woman. Got a new woman. He has to be home every weekend. You know, massaging that ass. However you want to say it, you know, loving on mama.
Oh, yeah.
You know, because mama ain't happy. Nobody happy. You know? Well, I mean, that's what they say. That's why mine's always pissed. Because I go do, you know.
Yeah.
Do you got a girlfriend?
Yeah.
Well, sorry, ladies. How
What?
about you?
No, I don't.
You ain't got an old lady, huh?
I don't have an old lady.
Available bachelor.
Yep.
Holy smokes. Now, when did you guys graduate? Did you graduate already?
No, I'm still in high school.
Still in high school? Or you?
I'm still in high school.
Are y'all seniors?
We're
Or juniors?
juniors.
Junior,
Yeah.
senior mix. Just depends on how the online stuff is at the time.
Yeah.
You can skip a lot of stuff that you'd not be able to skip in regular school.
I got you. So you guys are getting geared up. I knew you guys were right there real close.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and how does racing, I see that being very tough with school too. Is that tough?
I mean, really?
Or no?
Hon-
Look at
honestly,
him like, yeah, my girlfriend does all my homework.
she helps out sometimes, but honestly, like we don't touch school.
Hear that, teachers?
Once every 2 weeks, maybe.
Is that right?
It only takes about an hour.
Yeah. I can do a whole week, an hour. So you can knock it
What?
out pretty quick. Yeah.
Knock it out.
Joe, you graduated, didn't you? Was it like that senior year? So senior year is like a joke. Oh, okay. I never made it to my senior year.
Really?
I actually was a high school dropout. So,
GED.
yep, good enough education.
Yeah.
So,
Well, it's done you well.
well, it did all right, didn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not too bad.
A lot of people, they're like, well, you know, I finished the 10th grade. That was it. And I went out and got a man job, you know. And when I went out and got a man job, I mean, I went, oh, God, what have I done?
All right.
You know, that's what I thought. And then when I went to go back, I thought, oh, my God, I can't go back. I'll be 21 and a senior. You know, so I was like,
Yeah, they call her super seniors.
I kind of screwed this up. So
Yeah.
but I did go back to school. Yeah, about a year and a half, 2 years later. By the time I was 19, 20, I was in college.
It's crazy. You look around, like, I'll say the racetrack, for example. Like, I look at so many people and drop out 9th grade, multimillionaire. Never went back. Say they finished high school, didn't go to college, multimillionaire. And they're sponsoring people that's got college education in debt still.
I think it's the drive. I think it's you either got it or you don't. Don't you think, Joe? I think it's a drive thing, man. I some people got it, some don't. I think if you got that drive, it doesn't matter if you're educated or not. You'll educate yourself. You'll teach yourself how to do the stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, that sounds bad, but
Yeah.
and if you don't have the drive, you can have all the college you probably know them, college educated, but lazier and shit.
Yep.
Won't do nothing.
They'll satisfy with a 9 to 5 whenever I look at it as like there's 24 hours in a day. I only need to sleep 3 of those, you know?
Yeah, yeah, and the more stuff that you can do, the little. I know you said you got this little side venture thing with hot rods.
Yeah.
Well, tell me about that. Tell me a little bit about that. Are you trying to make it into like a little side business kind of thing?
I mean, I just see it as a good way to make money
and have you found anything?
and an
I've been meaning to ask you.
easier way to make money and not have to hassle as much.
Yeah.
You know, it is a little bit of work if you want to put work into it, but I've seen it a lot. I mean, you can find these old cars off an old lady and not give hardly anything for it, and you find the right guy and you get what you want out of it.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And you don't have to do as much work, and they're old cars, so people obviously know they need work.
You're playing with their money,
Right.
not your own. It's kind of like being a broker. You're kind of like a car broker.
Yeah, to
Yeah.
some degree.
Yeah, yeah, kind of like a guy that's a broker and, you know, with stocks and stuff. Yeah, they use somebody else's money and invest it. So
Right.
You're kind of doing the same thing,
Yeah,
meeting in the
you
middle.
keep turning it.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, your dad kind of likes that part of it. He just goes on and on. I think
Yeah.
Dad's pretty. How many kids? How many brothers and sisters
It's
you
just
got?
me and my brother.
Is that right?
Yeah, he's in college. He's in Texas, and he's in. I think he's getting his master's this year.
Mom's gone.
Yeah, she lives in Fayetteville.
She lives in Fayetteville.
Yeah.
You live with Dad.
Yep.
That's different.
Yeah.
Most kids go with Mom.
Most of the times it's the dad's leaving, but it wasn't that in this case.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, if you've lived here your whole life and
Right.
Dad's really involved with some stuff and you guys get along,
Yeah.
you know, that was a big thing for me. You know, if you get along, that would be a whole different ball game.
Right.
You know what I mean? If you didn't get along with the other one, it ain't gonna work.
Yeah.
So, and you don't. Your dad seems all right. Seems
Yeah.
like a good guy.
Yeah, there's more things for me and Dad to talk about and mix in and me learn than.
So that shop, is it pretty much yours now?
I mean, yeah, me and Keaton.
I kind of got the feeling it was y'all's shop.
He pretty much took it over.
It was loaded with stuff and just junked. Like
Yeah.
what, 3 years ago? Now.
I think it was.
And you guys what? Just
Two
started
or
clearing
three.
it out?
I mean, we grabbed a semi trailer or two and cleared it all out and
Yeah.
cleaned it up and
About a day we had it cleared out and then made it the race shop. So
did what we wanted with it.
Cool.
Now it's kind of turning into bringing some old vehicles in there and
Start messing with them.
doing a little bit of work on them and stuff like that. So
You ever thought about the muscle cars, kind of like what we're doing? Like
Yeah.
the 68, 60. I love those years. God, I don't know why. Like 66 to 72.
yeah.
That's like my favorite era. You know,
I've always like looked at like, we'll just call it Gas Monkey for example. I know you could see it turn like Ruster Rods or Rust Bros or whatever you see on like TV or whatever you want to call it. You know, they get an old car and they bring it back to life. And, you know, you look at it on the showroom floor when it first came out and they can make it look like that,
yeah,
you know, 50 years from now. And that's what I want to get to.
yeah.
And I mean, I don't know. I just find kind of like a little passion in restoring old things and cleaning things up.
Well, I started right around y'all's age, and it took me all these years just to get the equipment I got.
Yeah.
And this is at home, you know. It's I mean, we run it as a business now, but and very small business. I mean, I would say we do between 50 to 150,000 a year. That's it. So generally, and that depends on unless we build 2 or 3 cars. You
Right.
know, if we do that, then 200 or 300 grand. But it like we're contracted. We're fixing to do an old 49 Chevy truck that's going to be in here in a few weeks. And here lately, we've been kind of doing more personal stuff.
Right.
Kind of backed off from everybody else's because there for a little bit, man, we were just doing everybody else's.
Yeah.
And I got burned out with that. Went back to doing my electrical, doing my construction. Keep my hobby as my hobby.
Yeah.
So, but I know what you mean. It's a passion. I like putting them back together, and I like to do a little twist on them.
Yeah.
You know, kind of like that Chevelle. Kind
Well,
of.
they're a pain sometimes too.
Yeah, yeah. And it takes the equipment to build this stuff too. Back in the old days, I remember I just had a sander and a few hammers and just a handful of tools, and it's easier now, but. You know, you guys got access to that shop. I'd say just keep on buying.
Yeah, I've been fortunate enough to get a little bit of access on like knowledge between my dad and
Oh, I bet your
People
dad's
like-
just plumb full of knowledge. I mean,
Yeah.
they
Yeah.
tear cars apart for a living.
Yeah.
And then
What is up with him and all them damn cars?
man, he's on a buying spree.
And he's got me.
Yeah,
just-
Roger, give me some of that money. You know, it's like, good Lord. I mean, he's buying cars like a madman or whatever he's
Yeah.
doing. Where's he getting all them?
Man,
I thought,
Everywhere.
who in the hell is he towing those for? And then they just kept accumulating. I said, man, he's got to be buying them.
Yeah.
dude, he's bought so many. Well, we had that auction when we went through the divorce. I think it was like 4 years ago.
Yeah, I remember it.
And we had to auction off every bit of like inventory we had for salvage. So we got down to like, I think we looked at our yard and we had like 3 cars and they were burnt.
Yeah.
You know,
I remember.
no one bought them. So that was pretty much Dad. He had to like restart. And he's just been gathering back up. And his goals, we have a whole nother lot of land to the side of that we plan to keep putting cars on, stacking.
Do you guys got some LS engines up there?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
We got some
Quite a few.
5.3s and whatnot.
Are y'all hanging on to them? Or are y'all willing to sell
They're
some
for
of them?
sale.
They're all for
Are
sale.
Yeah.
Any 6.0s?
Nope, just 5.3.
I think just 5.3s.
Well, the 5.3s they run.
Yeah, they run.
Yeah.
What do you guys get now on that? What do you want out of them?
You would
Like-
know.
I mean, I told you what I kind of can get them for, and you probably see
Yeah.
them on Facebook all the time.
Yeah, the last one Roger priced me for the motor and training is like $1,200, something like that.
The motor and tranny.
Yeah,
And all the wiring with it. So it's like a drop in.
yeah, pretty much. But
Yeah, that ain't bad. That's about the going right.
yeah, and then again, it just depends on miles and
What's
whatnot.
better to separate it out like that, anyways?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
So, are you going to take Dad's business over?
I'd like to. He's always talked about like kind of retiring.
Let you run
in
it?
his 50s. So I'm hoping, I get out of high school and I can kind of focus on his business and kind of let him do his own thing because he's worked pretty hard his whole life. So he always talked about maybe just having a little car lot. And
It'd be cool, like a classic car lot. That'd
yeah,
be cool.
Right.
he's talked
be
about high-end like luxury cars,
Oh, okay.
and having like kind of like a high-end car lot because he has like his he goes to auto auctions, has his dealer license and all that stuff. So
That's fun.
oh yeah,
See, I'm a car guy too, so my wife, she said, "What do you want?" I said, "Anything with a car." I said, "If we tear a car apart, it's like tomorrow. My dad's coming up. You know what we're doing for fun?
So,
We're going to a salvage yard, and we're going to dig through this guy's shit." Yeah, but it's a little hidey hole salvage yard. It's one of those that got all old cars.
the salvage yard back in the 60s.
Yes.
Yeah.
So we're gonna go out there and just dig through stuff and try to find a few gems or buy a whole car.
Yeah.
Hopefully we can come off one for $500 to $1,000 and maybe. I mean, you just never know. But I still know a few places like that.
Oh yeah, I've found a couple, rummaging around, and it's places where it's behind their house.
Yeah.
Is
There's
it?
trees that's grown up now. And there's just kind of cars all scattered through the woods, trees growing through the cars.
I wish you could get that guy outside of town here to sell all them Mopars. I keep saying that. You know who I'm talking about?
I don't know where it's at, but
Okay, you know where the convention center is for Salsal? The yellow building? You know where they get outside of town?
Yeah, I
Whatever you
got you.
call it? Take a left right before there. Head north.
talking about like the county barn. Okay.
yeah.
Take a left right there. Head down there about half a mile. Start looking to your right, and all of a sudden in the trees and in that field, kind of glance behind a yellow building. And as you kind of glance behind it, you'll catch wind. You'll see him. Well, he had the gate open one day. I thought, well, I'm going to find out who's in there. And I went in there and went behind that fence. Dude, it was 68 fastbacks. There was crazy cars. There was 369 Chargers.
You wouldn't sell 'em.
Well, I couldn't get a hold of nobody. And supposedly one of my neighbors, that's her brother-in-law or something. And she hit him up, and he's the one that said, to her, said, "I ain't going to sell none of them. I'm going to let trees grow up in the middle of them, man."
It's a shame.
It is a shame. It makes me sad.
Yeah.
Like, it disturbs me because, first of all, you ain't got enough time to fix these things, man. Why would you let them rot?
Yeah.
You ain't got the money to fix them. Why would you do that? Just because you can? Because you're an asshole? I hate to say that. People can get mad all they want on
Yeah.
YouTube and Facebook. I don't care. That's the way I see it. I'm trying to preserve it, trying to save those cars. And you're keeping it. Why? You're trying to keep a remembrance when you were a kid.
Right.
You had a brother or a sister that died in 1988, and you got his car still, and there's a tree through the middle of the son of a bitch.
Usually like 2 or 3 family members have to pass away before they'll start selling them.
Yeah, and I wonder how that family member would really feel about that.
Probably like you're being stupid.
You're an idiot.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would never do that to their car.
By that time, though, the cars are almost...
I know where a 69 Super Sport Camaro convertible down in Bacoshi. It's been pissing and pouring in it for 20, 25 years. She keeps saying, I asked her 10, 12 years ago, "What are you doing with the car? I'd like to buy it." She said, "Well, I'm going to fix it up.
Oh, yeah.
We're going to fix it up." It's 12, 13 years later. It's still sitting there. I know where 269 Chargers are by Marble City. I'm going to fix it up. They don't ever fix them up. If
Yeah.
you're not going to do it, man, they're getting worse. Either that or they think they're on gold.
Yeah, I think they are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
28,000. And you're like,
Yeah, I went and looked at a truck the other day, and it was a rust bucket. It's like a 71 step side.
yeah.
And it was all going good. The lady came out of the house. Her dad passed away. They ended up with it. It had a 454 in it. And I was like, what do you want for it? She was like, oh, I'll take like 4,600. I was like, okay, that's workable. A little, because it was in decent shape. It ran.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, I shot her the low dollar, you know, to make her feel like she had a junk box over there. And I was like, you know.
He's working at Mojo.
Yeah.
Wasn't
yeah.
he?
Yeah, I make them feel bad about their stuff sometimes. That's how you get it at a
They
good
get
price.
mad.
But I got her down to like, I think it was like $2,400.
That ain't bad.
And it ran.
Yeah.
And it was straight. This dude comes outside, you know, had a Bud Light in his hand.
Hey!
Yeah, that's what it was, pretty much. Who's this? And
Some bitch.
she's like, that's my boyfriend. And he's like, what's he doing here? And I told him I was trying to buy that truck. He's like, oh, that thing's worth $26,000. You ain't about to sell him that. He's like, maybe with a couple zeros behind it.
Holy smokes.
So I didn't get that one. She told me to come by in a few
Well, I told
weeks.
you, I got mine out there, but I just want parts out of it.
Yeah.
Parts price. But, you know, I've seen other guys here in town buy them for, I told you, 8 or 9. And they ain't worth nothing. You're like, holy smokes, you give 8 or 9, but you won't buy one that's perfectly straight, ready to build. But you'll try to build that one back.
Yeah, they're afraid of it.
That's some of the shit I'm confused about that too. There is a lot of business owners in Salisaw that will buy junk at high-end prices, I guess just to say they bought it at Haggerty or Meekum. I bought it from Meekum. I don't care where you got it. It ain't worth that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I mean, whenever I look at a car and they're wanting premium price, let's say $25,000 and up, 25, 30 grand and up. The first thing I look at is I look to see if they've got dry rotted ball joints and stuff like that, little bushings and everything like that. I want to see if they're fresh, moist, no cracks in them, stuff like that. As soon as I look under there and there's no cracks and it looks like they've been replaced or something like that, I look at the engine. First thing I look at, ARP, exterior bolts, or are they number 8? Because generally if they got that just on the outside, it's got some goodies on the inside, good stuff. And it's probably been built right.
Yeah.
So that's the first things I look at. So when I'm looking at a premium piece, you'd be surprised how many cars, I'm not going to say no names, but big names here in town. They've bought cars, as soon as they raised up on the lift, everything dry rotted, everything.
Yeah,
and I was
seen
like, you gave 25 grand for this? And I'm thinking, holy smokes. But, you know, I could put 25 on mine and they won't buy it because I'm a local.
Well,
a lot of the funny stuff is that
Weird. I don't know.
Weird.
Yeah, and if I would take it down to Haggerty, they'd probably give me 50.
All right.
I don't get that.
a lot of people around here, if it's like a, you know, a
I guess they're afraid
business
we're going to
owner.
screw each other.
right, and
Or they're so used to, you know, I don't know. I guess they're doing that to each other because I don't work like that.
they just see a fancy like a paint job, and you know their eyes light up. They don't look at, or they don't know what they're looking at. And
Yeah.
you know what I mean? They're like, yeah, my dad used to have one of these back in the 60s.
Yeah.
But they see a fancy paint job, but realistically, they don't really know what they're looking at.
Mhm.
And they pay the price, and the dude on the other end's feeling happy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because he just sunk it.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, I've seen that. I was told to take everything to Florida. As soon as I fix it up, take it to Florida. They said, Dave, your shit will sell 50 to 100 grand. Just take it there. It's just like this Chevelle out here. I'd put it out here. It probably wouldn't sell for 30, 35,000 here in town. Barely.
Doubt it.
I got 30 in the motor.
Yeah.
27,000 in the motor.
And that's
And you're yeah, there's no, I'm like, and I was talking to a guy, he said, now you take it to Florida, you'll get 80 grand. You get 68 grand. He says, it's a tube chassis, people look under it, they'll know what they're looking at. They'll know that it's all aftermarket, disc braked, and, you know, and I said, well, that's what that's the way I thought most people that buy cars like that's what they were looking at, but they don't around here.
Well, around
You're
here,
right.
that's where I've gotten to now. Like, honestly, when I buy a car, I don't fix it up. I sell it to the other people as a project.
Mm-hmm.
So,
And I think here in Oklahoma, a guy down in Texas, he said Oklahoma's just as bad. He said I can't hardly get more than 30 grand out of the thing. He said I'll lose my ass every time, and that was one of the painters for Gas Monkey Garage telling me that.
yeah, I've gotten to the point where I can buy something and not even unload it off the trailer. You've seen it.
Yeah.
I've left it hooked up loaded on the trailer from the time I picked it up.
Mm-hmm.
Sell it and make $5 grand,
Mm-hmm.
and have it for a couple days, just because it's not worth messing with hardly. Just because no one around here wants to cough up a big chunk when they see up like a price that's under $5 grand.
Yeah, they'll just do
or
it.
10. They're like, I've saved up for that. I can keep putting money in that. They see a big price, so they get they run away.
I'm one of the few guys that will take one of them old cars though, and I'll finish it. And I think a lot of people around me is surprised. They're like, "Damn, he finished that one. He finished that one." Once I start, I can't stop, and that's where I get in trouble because I'll have 35, 40,000, 50,000 at some bitch, and I'm like, "Oh my god,
Just
I'm
suck
barely
it.
gonna break
Yeah.
even." I don't think I've ever made money on one. I think I have broke. Like, I'm thinking about putting my green truck up for sale. Like I said, for around 30, 35,000. That's what I've got in parts. And
Hey, don't we have a race car trailer?
What do we do?
we can do some talking. It ain't gonna be no straight across, but we can do some talking.
Right?
Hey, you got something else I want?
You're going to say 69, aren't you?
Fire chicken.
Oh no.
Yeah. Hey, man, it's just come to the dark side. I'm just teasing. Oh, or I can get you I can get you into a dirt car. You know what I mean?
I've had opportunities to do that.
I sold a modified, don't you?
You had a modified, or you sold one?
sold one. I sold a modified here. When did I sell that? That white one, like 2 years ago. Yeah, I sold a white modified. Yeah, that some bitch was pretty nice too. I mean, brand new powder coat, everything. I didn't sell it for much. Yeah, you guys do have that trailer I want. Man,
Bummer.
we got to figure something out. You like it, green truck?
Yeah, I like the green truck. I don't know how you couldn't like the green truck.
I know. You like it paint, don't you? I mean, I didn't know how it was going to turn out.
Personally, I'm not even crazy about green, but that green looks good.
Man, you ought to see it in the sun. Like, it does not do it justice. I got it parked inside now, covered up. When it really pops is when I buffed and waxed it, touched everything up. If I find a little chip, I got some touch-up paint. Do a little touch-up, clean everything up real good, and a nice sunny day. My God, people stop me in parking lots. I mean, it's eye-catcher. And I mean, the paint job, I gave almost $6,000 for the paint job. I didn't paint it. I mean, I did some body work and all that stuff. When it come down to the final paint, I had old Flute, that old man.
Oh yeah, I watched his video. It was nice.
He laid it down, man. Yeah, I told you what he does with the water hose. Soaks his tools, sprays the ceiling.
He ever tell you why he does that?
Yeah, he said it keeps dust down.
Yeah.
I said, what about moisture? He said, oh, shit.
My grandpa used to say the same thing. You get in there with a water hose.
Goes in there, shh. And I told you he's got one little box fan. That's his ventilation. Comes out all, messed up. And it rolls that door up, and that green truck rolled out. And I went, I'll just shut up. I don't know what the hell I'm talking about. Yeah, I don't say that. You wait till you see my 67 Barracuda in 2 weeks. You'll see it run around town.
Race it.
Yeah, we'll have to come up here and check it out.
Yeah, it's got a candy apple Pawnee. No, it's Plim. I don't remember. I think it's Mopar blue, but we put candy in it. And I did the aftermarket TIG welded valve covers and TIG welded where you could see the welds.
Oh, yeah.
Look real machined.
Yeah.
And man, it's got a nice healthy little cam in it and brand new interior, brand new chrome, brand new everything. So kind of like the green truck.
Yeah.
But turned up a little more old school, set of 18s on it.
It'd be sweet.
It is, and it's a tricolor Prowler orange kind of look like that Camaro.
Right.
When I was telling you. But it's got a matte black hood, matte black spoiler, and when I get it back, we're going to put a CUDA down the side of it. That'll be nasty. And I've got about 35 in it. And I actually bought it for 10. So I bought a complete car. Or I'd have 50 in it. So I actually got a good deal. I think it'll sell for $45.50. That's what I think. Or I'll wind up trading it to a buddy and barely breaking even.
Yeah. I was about to say, was that a client's car that you were doing, or was that?
No, that's
personal?
ours. Yeah, my wife's going to drive it. She's going to take the kids to school in it. It has power steering, power brakes, factory air. Everything's, fully loaded car, if you can imagine, but got that old Mopar.
Yeah.
I didn't think I'd like Mopar. But some guys like black girls. Don't you? Cling.
Oh, not me, but
No, I'm just saying. I'll be honest with you. I didn't think I'd like Mopar, but I like those years, like the Charger, the Barracudas. But like I said, 67 to like 71 too. That's about it.
Yeah. After 72, everything started getting a little rough.
It did, didn't it?
a little ugly. Yeah.
Something happened. Somebody slapped the fugly button.
I think the square body trucks are literally like the only thing and maybe some of the Firebirds.
Man, I don't know.
In the 70s, that's
Something
still hot.
happened. Something happened. Whoever the engineers was from like 66 to 72, man, those engineers, they were another level. And I think some of their kids just got hired on. Because there's been a few cars here recently.
Mm-hmm.
The Challenger, the new Camaro. What do you think about that mid-engine Corvette?
Yeah, they're a little wild.
I like it. I'm digging it. I mean,
I'm liking it too.
yeah.
I like that exotic sports car look.
I hate that they're running away though from what they started with. That's what I look at a lot of the times. But then again, you got to look at the future.
Yeah, they're just trying to compete with everybody.
Yeah.
But it is affordable though.
Yeah.
It starts out like 40 something for a base.
It's same price as my Duramax.
Yeah.
I mean, same payment. That's pretty wild. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I was telling Keaton the other day we could, sell my GMC and go buy a Tesla truck.
Yeah. Now that would be wild.
Wouldn't it?
What do you think of those?
I think they're pretty cool. Like
Do ya?
the highest level package you can get.
Yeah. I mean, performance wise, they're
Yeah,
phenomenal. I don't know about that look.
Personally, the looks like something I drew like back in 6th grade. Really
Honestly,
square.
For 800 horsepower, I think
I like the Rivian.
Yeah.
I
I
kind of
see. I
like.
haven't seen that yet. He was talking about
I
that.
haven't either.
I like the Rivian a little better. About the same specs as Tesla. I showed Joe. Boy, that Rivian's a good looking truck. Holy smokes, 2 huge flat screens, and then the interior's all leathered out, and it's nice ride.
Yeah.
What do they start at?
I think they're around 60,
60.
65,000. But man, I mean, you're talking 1,000 pounds of torque, 800 to 1,000 pounds of torque. The Tesla truck's similar.
Yeah.
So you don't have to have a Duramax.
Yeah.
I'm looking into them too because I'm thinking, my God, I can pull my race car trailer with an electric truck. This
Be
is
cool,
sick.
wouldn't it?
Yeah, this is nasty. I mean, the next car my wife's getting, we're thinking about getting the Rivian SUV. So they actually make an SUV that gets 400 miles on a charge. So, and it is 1,000 pounds of torque, and I think it's, don't quote me on this. I'm thinking it's 400 to 600 horsepower. It's mean.
So they're getting close to Teslas then, or more.
Tesla, they say that Tesla's threatened by Rivian because Rivian just signed, I think they signed $700 million with UPS or something, or Google, or one of them, a big company. So Rivian's taken off huge. They're just like Tesla. The only thing is Rivian's more, they're making like their SUV looks like my wife's Denali.
Right. It's more luxury than.
More luxury and more traditional.
Yeah.
Tesla's more off the wall. But I seen a Model S in person, electric car. It was sick. It was like a Mercedes and a Porsche like gangbanged each other, and ass was wide. You just want to stop. I'm telling you, tires were fat. Thing was low to the ground. I mean, it was sick looking. It come around, Branson.
Yeah.
I was like, damn, what is that? Oh, that's a Tesla.
See
That's a 4-door car. That thing looks sick. In person, it looks better.
Yeah, a lot better.
How many times have you seen a Tesla at Tri-State of Crawford?
I know.
Hey, you go to Port, Tulsa.
Oh, yeah.
Parking lot's full of them.
Is that right?
No joke. They pull in Corvettes, pull into the pits.
Yeah.
It's just classy.
Yeah. Yeah, look at it. It's panty filling time. Classy.
Uh-huh.
Classy. Yeah, mine ain't got, a few teeth missing and shit. Well, they're not that bad, but, well, no, I take it back. They're
that bad on some of them.
Okay. I've tried to be nice so everybody don't get mad at me. You know what I mean? So, but I'm going to have to come up and see these races. Are you going to be in the Chili Bowl? You going to let everybody know? Be in the Chili Bowl?
We're going to be in the shootout for sure in 4 classes, but the Chili Bowl is still undecided. Hopefully, I mean, I don't want to like.
I want to go. I want to go. I told your dad I want to go up there. I haven't been in 4 or 5 years. I said I keep missing the sucker. Every time I told him to holler at me if you guys are going up there, I'll go up there with y'all.
My whole thing with the Chili Bowl is I don't want to pay for a ride. I don't want to pay $8,000 and get a halfway decent ride.
Yeah.
Knowing maybe I'll make it to a B main. If I want to get a Chili Bowl ride, I want to be able to have contention to win the thing. At least make it to the A.
Gotcha.
And let the rest be on me.
So we're all gonna have to watch you got a Facebook page or anything?
Just my main page. I usually share everything.
You get your little race car one going.
Yeah, I have a racing page. I just don't share it on.
Don't do a lot. I think Joe does most of ours.
Because every time someone tags me, they always tag my main.
Yeah. Okay, so we need to keep our eyes peeled for you guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hopefully I can do good in the shootout and land a big ride. That'd be ideal. Is win 1 or 2 or 3 of the classes.
And this guy right here, he wins. So he's being very modest.
Hopefully we can
pull it off.
Yeah.
Pull off at least 1 or 2 or 3 classes. I mean, if we pulled off 3 classes, and I'd go a lot farther than just the Chili Bowl.
Yeah, I think we got a good chance this year.
Yeah. Well, then enter it. You guys heard it here first. We'll end it with that. Sound good? All right. Well, thank you guys. Everybody tune in, subscribe, hit like, and thank you guys for watching. And keep your eyes peeled here for Caleb. And anybody want to help him out, just give him a buzz or check him out. Thank you guys.